For the sake of your mental health, please prioritize your sleep. As a psychologist, I've had plenty of patients coming into my office with tons of struggles that have put their mental health on a slippery slope. And yes, their difficulties are rooted on various things such as dysfunctional family dynamics, childhood trauma, SA, bullying, addiction or dependence to electronic devices, substances, and many other factors. However, a huge chunk of said discomfort has been enhanced by the lack of sleep, and that might be happening to you as well. Let me explain further. When we don't sleep or don't do it enough, our bodies, our brains are not able to recover properly from whatever we did during the day. Workouts, work, school, parenting, university, everything. Therefore, it feels as if our brains have been shut down. Everything seems difficult to understand, to do, but the real question you may have is, how does that affect my mental health? You become extremely moody. If you don't rest, your body doesn't relax, therefore your system starts producing more cortisol, aka the stress hormone, making you tense or more tense. Hence why you're more susceptible to everything happening around you and your mood is prone to switch extremely fast, especially to an explosive, super angry one, again due to the accumulation of stress. You increase the chances of suffering from depression and anxiety. Not only cortisol, but your hormones in general get out of control if you don't sleep. Therefore, you don't only get extremely angry, but every emotion is manifested harder than usual. This is why your brain gets overwhelmed, overstimulated, and you may start feeling that you're getting unmotivated, out of control, dissociated, which might make you question your life, and you start getting sad, scared, agitated, insecure, etc. Sensations that do come with stress, anxiety, depression. Your processing of information fails. When you sleep, your brain processes everything you've experienced throughout the day. That's a part of why we're able to retain information. But without rest, that's why you are forgetting everything. You might have pulled an all-nighter studying for a quiz, but because you lack sleep, that's why you just black out when you have the test in front of you. Your kid told you they needed a look for crazy hair day, but you forgot because that information got dismissed because you aren't able to retain it. On the same page, if you're tired, stressed, moody, well, that causes brain fog, and that brain fog is a burden for your attention and concentration. In other words, you are just not there, and that's why you might have forgotten that you had to do an inform at work, you read something but the words didn't stick, you forgot about your daily responsibilities, and you literally feel lost because you are lost. And you might feel useless, which could also harm your self-esteem. And all of these things that I already mentioned can make you isolate from the world. If you're moody, you know people won't necessarily stand you, so you might opt to go away to avoid issues. If you're extremely stressed, you may not want to know anything about the world around you, and you trap yourself in your own bubble. If you're unable to process information, you probably prefer to just don't do anything, and you may find yourself in front of a computer staring at your lock screen or bed rotting, and this increases feelings of loneliness, which simultaneously keep increasing anxiety, depression, and lower your self-esteem even more, which may cause you to look for ways to cope, which could be eating disorders or substance abuse. A low quality of rest makes your hunger and fullness cues go all over the place, and there are two paths in here. You don't feel hungry at all, so you just don't eat because everything sounds meh, disgusting, which can lead you to severe underweight, or because you're so damn exhausted, you try to energize yourself by eating every single thing you have on your fridge, aka binging. And any of these extremes could be enhanced by anxiety, depression, extreme stress, trapping you on a rabbit hole of disordered eating patterns. And regarding substance abuse, well, many people have found themselves trying to obtain energy anywhere, so they can incline to drugs, or because they are lonely and depressed, they can make a habit out of alcohol consumption, which could make them dependent on substances to be able to relax or feel something, which in the long run, for obvious reasons, is detrimental for their daily functioning. So yes, rest is just as important as being productive. I mean, as you can see, if you don't sleep long term, you probably won't be able to be successful on your tasks, and not because you cannot do them, but because you are not sleeping. If you really want to accomplish everything you have in mind in the best way possible, then a minimum of 6 hours to a max of 9 hours of rest is key, so you can actually get good grades, do your chores, tasks, you can socialize and build healthy relationships, have a great and sane mindset, and overall be the best version of yourself and have the ability to improve every time.